Hi, hello, and welcome back to Rebel Unicorn Crafts. Today we are on day 9 of the 12 days of fluid painting tips and tricks to improve your practice, and today's tip is to learn when to walk away. This is a good thing to learn in any art form. It doesn't really matter which one, because sometimes continuing to fiddle with something is actually to your detriment. I see this happen a lot with my students where they get a result that they kind of like, but it maybe wasn't exactly what they had pictured in their head. And rather than walking away and kind of sitting with it for a minute, they just continue fussing with it. So this is also a very subjective tip. If you really like all the modifications you make, then go ahead and keep doing them. But just as kind of a learning tool here, I had done 2 different paintings side by side. One was a test to show the difference between adding a pop of color, because sometimes I think that's what's missing, is just that extra kind of pizzazz of an extra color, and it's not really the technique that you were kind of feeling was lacking. But so what I was doing is on the left here, I got this painting done to a point where I actually think it's pretty. It could have used some more color contrast and things like that, but in general, the effect I was going for was pretty close to what I wanted, and it has a nice composition. But instead of stopping, here's where I start fiddling with it some more to, quote unquote, try to fix it. So whereas on the left or the right side I added some additional colors, on this side maybe I wanted some more cells. So I start doing some swiping and some blowing. And at first, it kind of does look neat. And it's fun to play. That's the hardest part of this, is that sometimes it's hard to walk away because it's fun. It's fun to keep messing with this stuff. But ultimately, I think this leads to a weaker result. And that's because you start to muddy some of those colors and you lose some of the vibrance, as well as maybe you lose some of the preserved white space or blank space, which sometimes makes the actual fluid painting itself pop. I kind of like to think of it as, when you're cooking, spices and herbs are great additions to many dishes, but you probably aren't going to add parsley to your gingerbread cookies. It doesn't quite belong there. So this is about where I ended my additional messing with of the painting. I added some extra paint stripes. I touched certain areas. I did the blowing technique. I striped, I swiped. And here is where I think I probably should have left the painting. It's not my favorite one, but I think it's stronger than what I did after all of my messing a bit around. Again, here's the end result after all the messing. There are a few things I like in that. I do like some of the blowing in the upper part on the edges of the blue. So maybe the actual place I should have kept it is about here, minus the extra stripes. Either way, this is a personal preference, so if what you do to your paintings improves it in your opinion, or you just have fun doing it, keep doing it. But if you find yourself often messing with things and still being unsatisfied with the result, I recommend trying to just walk away and leave something at the first point of your instinct of messing with things, or maybe at one step beyond, because you might come back the next day and think, oh yeah, I really like that, and having some distance from it will give you some more perspective to actually analyze the painting and maybe see that some of the things you were trying to do did work. That's my 2 cents on learning to walk away. Let me know in the comments below, did you like the painting better before or after I fiddled with it further? Also, let me know in the comments below if you tend to be a walk away person or a continue to mess with it person. Is it just fun to play? Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this was helpful. If you'd like to share any other tips and tricks with me on Instagram, it's easier to share pictures there. You can do that at Rebel Unicorn Crafts or at Lacey Walker Art. And I hope that you have a magically creative day.